Hey, what's going on, guys? Tavares here. So I found out about this teacher, Bible teacher by the name of Manny Arango, and I like his content. I just found it, saw some good videos, but then I saw this video that he says he doesn't believe that the goal of dating is actually marriage. And I thought that was kind of weird, especially coming from a Christian speaker. So I was going to come at it from a different angle, disagreeing. I was hoping to get him, on the channel. I reached out to him. Didn't get a response yet. Hopefully soon. But I want you guys to check this out. Check out the feedback and let me know in the comments. Do you think the goal should be marriage, or should it always be marriage? Maybe you have a different goal at times. But yeah, I'm going to let it play, and then I'll go through it a second time just to chop it up.
For whatever reason, we hate dating. We think that dating should environments. For whatever reason, we hate dating. We think that dating should always end in marriage. Guess what? The goal of dating is not to get married. The goal of dating is to learn yourself. Which means every time you date someone, you learn more about you. Dating does not mean we're sexually active. Dating doesn't mean that, I'm developing an emotional connection to you that is unhealthy and developing a soul tie and creating unhealthy patterns of relating. No. Dating includes boundaries. I need to know, are you dating other people while you're dating me, or are we exclusively dating? Because those are not the same thing. Dating is not a waste of time. Dating is only a waste if you only see it as a road to marriage. But dating is not only a road to marriage, it's a road to self-discovery. And for a lot of us, you don't even know your likes and preferences and dislikes because you haven't spent enough time doing the work.
So you guys heard it. You don't know yourself because you didn't spend the time doing the work. So I'm going to spend a couple of seconds, dissecting this, because I thought there were some great points in the video, but I also think there were some parts that are highly problematic, because if you tell people that it shouldn't go towards marriage, then it's like, what are we really going towards? So let's get into it now. I'll keep chopping it, pausing it, leaving some feedback. Let's go one more time with Manny's video.
For whatever reason, we hate dating.
And it's weird that he says we hate dating. I feel as though people love the idea of dating. Marriage seems to be what everyone is chasing after for the most part. Everyone wants to feel loved, be loved, have that person to go home to. So I'm shocked that he says that. Maybe it's the fact that a lot of people aren't, they don't want to put their heart back out there. People hate getting rejected, things like that.
I think that dating should always end in marriage. Guess what? The goal of dating is not to get married. The goal of dating is to learn yourself.
All right, so that's the main part that I want to focus in on, because he says the goal of marriage, the goal of dating is not marriage. The goal is to actually learn yourself. So let's say before my wife and I started dating, I went up to Safa like, hey, you want to hang out? And say we're kicking it, we're having a good time. And Safa was like, hey, so what are we? Or where do you see this relationship headed? And I tell her, I'm just learning about myself. Imagine her response like, fam, that is the most selfish thing you could say. Meaning, I'm involved in your life just so you can see what you want to do with your life. That makes no sense to me. To me, you should go into dating with a plan. I see a future with us. Maybe you don't see marriage as the next step. I agree. I think a lot of times the church puts too much pressure on people to get married. You literally went on 2 coffee dates and they're already asking you, hey, so when you're going to pop the question? Where you go to Bible college and these kids are married by spring. Ring by spring is the popular thing. I think a lot of times we do put unnecessary pressure on people. But to say that that isn't the goal of dating, to me, that can be harmful teaching, because what are you telling your people to do? To discover themselves? In my opinion, singleness. The purpose of singleness is to discover yourself. In singleness, you should be discovering what it is that I like. What do I like to do? What do I like to enjoy? What are things I tolerate or don't, I won't allow in my life? I think singleness helps us learn who God wants us to be, rather than waiting until marriage. Because when I look at Eve, when God gave Eve to Adam, she was viewed as a helper. Here's your helpmeet, meaning you're already in your purpose. You're already in your calling. You're already active. So now I'm just bringing a woman to help assist you in doing what God has already been doing through your life. And I firmly believe, let me make this clear, every person does not know what God called them to do 100% fully one random day. I think you grow, and as you walk with God, God continues to bring greatness out of you. God continues to do great things in your life. But I don't think it's okay for me to say, well, It just depends, I probably don't know my calling because I'm waiting on a spouse. I don't know my calling just yet because I know it's attached to my spouse. I don't think God wants us to wait on a spouse for us to do things for his kingdom or for us to discover ourselves. To me, that doesn't make much sense because you should know who you are outside of a person, because if I discover myself because of you, that means I probably found my identity in you, which is very problematic. But back to the video.
Which means every time you date someone, you learn more about you.
Very true. Every time you date someone, you're learning more about you. That does not mean I dated that person because I want to know more about myself. If I don't know how I respond in times of adversity, I don't go date someone problematic and toxic just so I can get into an argument and see how I respond. No, life just brings that out of me, so I don't think... I feel as though maybe it was an amazing sermon. I don't have the full YouTube clip, but to say that I'm dating you to know more about me is, to me, it just sounds selfish. Am I misinterpreting that? Comment below and let me know if he probably could have said that a little bit better.
Dating does not mean we're sexually active. Dating doesn't mean that, I'm developing an emotional connection to you that is unhealthy and developing a soul tie and creating unhealthy patterns of relating. No. Dating includes...
All of the things he's saying are perfect examples of what healthy courtship and healthy relationship should look like. You're keeping boundaries. You're not engaging in sex outside of marriage. You're learning about this person. That's proper courtship. So I agree with all that he's saying right there.
I need to know, are you dating other people while you're dating me? Or are we exclusively dating? Because those are not the same thing. Dating is not a way...
Please take note of that. You need to know if they're dating multiple people, because I know a lot of people who thinks dating is a free-for-all. If you want me to make a video on that, comment below, I will. But I don't think it's okay for me to be to be communicating with someone and giving them the impression that I'm all in and I'm going on a date with 6 different women. Now, bear in mind, if you guys are on the same page that I'm looking elsewhere, whatever decision you choose to make. But I don't think it's healthy for a person to be talking to multiple people at a time, because ultimately you could be leading them all on, and to me that seems selfish again, because I'm just going to pick whoever's the best, and whoever's the weakest link, too bad for me, too bad for you. That can be problematic, because I also know people who were about to get engaged and then found out the person had a spouse in another country. Just saying, fam.
Dating is only a waste if you only see it as a road to marriage. But dating is not only a road to marriage, it's a road to self-discovery. And for a lot of us, you don't even know your likes and preferences and dislikes because you haven't spent enough time doing the work in Christian environment.
Yes, I'm going to leave it there. But for her to say you don't know yourself because you haven't put in the work, that's contradicting everything you just said. Putting in the work is not creating more relationships. No, to know more about yourself, you have to do introspective work. It's about how you progress and do all the things you're doing in life. But you can't say dating isn't going then to say, I don't know myself because I didn't do the work. So you're telling me I need to go date 6 more people to understand different parts of me? I feel as though he probably did not realize how it came across. And maybe it's just this one little clip that obviously the internet, man, you can get something small and it get taken out of context, So I definitely reach out to him because I don't want it to seem as though I'm blindsiding him type of thing. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the goal of dating should always be marriage? I believe that anytime you date someone, in my opinion, the goal should always be marriage. Maybe that's not marriage immediately. If you're a teenager, who expects you to rush into marriage already? Maybe you're in school. Maybe you're dealing with something that, it takes time. You're trying to learn a person. I don't think it has to be 6 months, a year, whatever. But I do think the goal should always be marriage. I don't think I should date someone or bring someone into my life and we keep going out. I keep investing so much and my goal was just to know more about me. I don't think that really makes much sense. So what do you think what are your thoughts on the goal of dating? Is it always marriage for you? Is it not? Let me know. Am I overthinking? Should I, just keep my mouth shut? Listen, I'm not offended. Just let me know in the comment section below. Love y'all. Peace.